Guys, welcome into another video from yours truly, Josh Reese. We are here live from Minute Maid Park. We are talking about the Houston Astros extra inning win over the Kansas City Royals. It was a win that I did not think would happen a few times today, but the Astros pulled it off anyways. So kudos to the Astros. They're now 4-3, and they're heading off on their first road trip of the year as winners. Technically, they are winners. They're 4-3, and they didn't have a losing sweep. So yeah, they're winners. So before I get into telling you about the game, let me tell you about this channel. I appreciate you guys for giving this a watch, a subscribe, and hopefully a like. Feel free to leave a comment and let me know what you think about these videos. I'd appreciate it. If you like this channel, I always have hot takes about the game afterwards, and I always have thoughts about just random stuff. Could be a WWE thought, could be a thought about the Rockets. I could be trolling Tony Romo one day. You never know. So make sure to subscribe. Make sure to tell people about this channel. I would appreciate it very, very much. So, let's talk about the Astros' 5-4 win today against the Royals. It was pretty good. As I mentioned earlier, they had to come back twice in the game, and each time I personally was writing a story about how the Astros had lost the game. So I was disappointed. I had to keep on rewriting what I was already writing. I'll tell you one thing, a little side note. I don't know if anybody else does this, but as someone who does write game recaps, writing them on the fly is some of the tougher things I do in life. Tough is relative, I know. Some other people do tough things, but man, coming up with 200-300 words about what happened in like the span of like 5 minutes, that's tough. So, if there's anything I enjoy a great big whooping more than anybody else in the world because they're very easy to write. But tonight, not so much, because the Astros of late have not had much offense. So each time they fell behind in the game, I kind of thought the game was over. And don't you lie. You know you thought the game was over too. So, let's just talk about it. And I won't talk about the whole game. I'll just talk about the 6th inning on. Because really, in the big scheme of things, who can remember everything that happened today? I'll start off by saying Lance McCullers pitched great and deserved the win. So, we start off with the 6th inning. Lance McCullers just gives up a home run to Mike Moustakas. Game is 3-1. Oh, Jesus. You think the game is over. Well, comes out in the 7th inning, and he is at risk at losing his quality start that he fought and scraped so hard for. But he doesn't give up any runs in that 7th inning, and they go into the bottom of the 7th inning, still trailing 3-1. I think the game is over, along with, I'm sure, many other people, because the only way the Astros score is with home runs. Hey, and guess what? The Astros got a home run from Marwin Gonzalez. Game tied. It wasn't a solo home run. It was a 2-run shot from Margot. Game tied, 3-3. And, wow. I wasn't expecting it. Nice to see Marwin. I believe that was his 2nd or 3rd home run of the year. So, good to see from Marwin Gonzalez. George Springer had a solo home run to lead off the game earlier in the day, and I believe that was his 4th home run? And I think this is Marwin's 3rd? I should have did research before this, but I did not. I apologize. So, game remains tied. Will Harris comes out, pitches a scoreless inning. Devo comes out in the top of the 9th. Gives up, or puts down the first 2 guys he sees in order. 1-2, strikeout and a flyout, I believe. And then Brandon Moss comes up, boom, bam, straight to the moon. Game untied. Game over in my mind, because you had the bottom of the order coming up after that. So he sits down on the bench again, and we head to the bottom of the 9th. And Jake Marisnick, none other than Jake Marisnick, ties the damn game up with a shot to the Crawford boxes. We're tied again at 4-4. Pretty stunning turn of events, if you ask me. I don't think very many people saw Jake Marisnick hitting a home run. I myself did not, but it was I mean, if you wanted a win for the Astros, that was a good sign of things to come. Because if there's one thing that we remember from the Astros of last year, is they didn't lose very many extra inning games. They ended up winning a lot more than they lost. So, Devo, after that, shuts down the Royals for the rest of the game. He would finish tossing 4 innings, giving up that 1 run, and having 7 strikeouts on the game. And I believe that is now, that's 8 innings of work and 14 Ks for Devo in the 2 appearances he's had so far this season. Fucking unbelievable. 14 Ks and 8 innings of work. That's, D-fantastic. That was bad. I'm sure I can do better. I'll think of something better for next time. So, we head into the bottom of the 12th, and I myself can't remember everything that happened in that inning. So, let me recap it for you from my trusty sheet real quick. George Springer leads off the game with a single. Bregman comes in, sacrifices Springer on over to second base. You got something working. Springer is on second base. All you need is a hit to the outfield, and he's likely home. So everything's working for the Astros, right? You got 1 out in the inning. They intentionally walk Jose Altuve. Now remember this will come back and be important in a minute. Carlos Correa grounds into a force out, and now you have 2 outs with 2 men on base on first and second. With Brian McCann batting, he ends up walking. So now you have the bases loaded with 2 outs, and 2 of the people on base have come in through walks. So Evan Gattis comes up, ends up taking it to a full count, and then he walks. Now, had they have not intentionally walked Altuve, you might have seen a different story. But instead, the Royals were deathly afraid of what Jose Altuve was going to do, and so they walked him. They end up walking McCann, and then Gattis ends it with a walk-off walk. After the game, he said he's definitely never ended a game with a walk-off walk before. This is truly one of the first of its kind, and I guess we all should have known after Jake Marisnick hit the home run that this game was going the Astros' way regardless. So, good for the Astros to end this game with a win. Another little side note about this first start from the Astros, aside from the offense, and we all know about the offense. The offense will eventually start to kick in. I don't think very many people really worry about what's going on with the offense right now. But I will say one of the very good bright spots of the Astros this season is the starting pitching. We all thought that might be a little bit of a sore spot for the Astros, especially when you get to the back end of the rotation. The Charlie Mortons, the Joe Musgroves, the Mike Fiers of the world. We thought that they might end up struggling. We all kind of figured that if healthy, Dallas Keuchel and Lance McCullers would be fine, but we worried about the back end of the rotation. And so far, the Houston Astros have gotten 7 straight quality starts to start the year. So, that's not going to continue for the rest of the year, but that is a good omen for months to come, I hope. Considering that they just got some bad news the other day when they said that Colin McHugh will not be pitching for 6 weeks as he tries to heal up his arm, and he'll be reevaluated in 6 weeks. So the Astros are going to be rolling with this for a while, unless they end up making a trade. But for right now, the Astros are looking just fine on the pitching end of things. Luke Gregerson had his blow-up the other night, but you don't expect that to continue. Good things for the Astros. So that's pretty much all I got here from Minute Maid. I'm going to go ahead and sign on off. Guys, I appreciate you for giving this a watch. Feel free to like, feel free to subscribe, and feel free to follow Josh Reese on Twitter at Mr. Joshua. I appreciate it. Guys, I will catch you all later.